7 powerful ways to write better sales copy. Recently, I've been teaching and sharing with you more on copywriting. If you enjoy these videos on copywriting and you want to see more of them, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and also comment and give me a thumbs up. It is the only way that I know you're enjoying these copywriting videos. Otherwise, I wouldn't make more of them. Now, today we're going to talk about how to write better sales copy. I'm going to give you 7 powerful ways to do that. You see, nowadays people are very skeptical. Every single day we are bombarded by thousands and thousands of advertising messages, right? Wanting to sell us something. So as a human being, as a person, we are very much turned off and tuned out on a lot of these messages. You see, one of the biggest reasons why people don't buy from you is lack of trust. Not that they don't want what you sell, not that they don't need what you sell, but they don't believe you. They don't believe the product would work. They don't believe the service is any good. So how do you overcome that? Think about in your life. Comment below. Share with me a moment that you've had in the past that you wanted to buy something, that you were ready to buy, but somehow in some way that you just didn't feel comfortable. You didn't trust the vendor or the brand or the company. And you were sitting on the fence, and at the end of the day, you didn't take action, you didn't make the purchase. Share that story with me. Comment below. So think about that. So what I'm going to share with you, these 7 ways, they will apply to your emails, they will apply to your videos, they will apply to your landing page, your website, your social media, everything that you do. You got it? Way number 1 to write better sales copy, and that is use specific numbers, especially in your headlines. So you see, it's one thing to say, oh, you know what, I have a very popular podcast. A lot of people listen to my podcast. It's a whole other thing to say, you know what, my podcast has been downloaded 1,735,221 times from over 151 countries. Do you see the difference? When you're making claims, you want to be very specific with your numbers instead of using round numbers. Sometimes you could also use 7 ways of, right? 7 mistakes that people make, or 3 things you need to be aware of, or the 1 thing that you must know. In fact, if you search on my channel and you look at some of the videos right now, you'll see the videos with numbers, they tend to perform better. They almost always perform better than just a video with more generic title. Why? Because when you have a specific number, people know that there's a particular outcome. There are some steps, there's some things concrete that they're gonna get out of by watching that video. And this applies to copywriting, this also applies to content writing. Way number 2, always prove your claim. Meaning, include case studies, laboratory results, some kind of proof. If you're gonna make some claims within your sales copy, you've gotta back it up with something. Otherwise, it would feel like an empty promise, right? I'll give you a perfect example. When I share with people that when I was getting started, that I was an introvert, people don't believe me. You watch what I do now, I speak to millions and millions of people on a monthly basis, and they say, oh no, Danny, must be easy for you. You're naturally talented, or you're gifted, or this comes easy for you. Well, simply not true. But I could tell you many times that, no, I was an introvert. I had no confidence. People still don't believe me. So what do? Sometimes I would show them, let's say if I'm presenting, I would show them a picture of myself when I was 19 years old, 20 years old, and you would see how much of an introvert that I was, right? How shy I was, how low confident I was, right? And you would see that. It's much more powerful when I share a story with you and I back it up with boom, like that. And I would show people the first car that I had, the Ford Escort, the white Ford Escort that I had, that I bought for $2,500. People could see, oh wow, that's where Dan came from. That's a very humble beginning. So always prove your claim. Everything that you say, everything that you promise, everything that you claim in your copy, you gotta back it up, you gotta prove it. So to demonstrate to the reader that this is real. Way number 3, use testimonials. You see, what other people say about you or your brand, your product, your company is infinitely more powerful than what you could say about yourself. Because if you say about yourself and you say, oh, I'm so great, I'm so awesome, I'm so wonderful, well, it comes across we are bragging. But when other people say that about you, now that's an endorsement, that's a recommendation. So as a business, doesn't matter what you sell, you always want to be collecting testimonials from your customers. And the way that you collect testimonials, sometimes you could collect what I call character testimonial, meaning that your customers, your clients, they're saying some nice things about you. Let's say you sell weight loss, okay? And you're a personal trainer. And your customers might say, yeah, Sally is a very good personal trainer and she is, very much, she has a lot of experience. That's a character testimonial. Those are good, you could use it here and there, but the better kind of testimonials are what I call results-driven testimonials. So here's an example. I've been struggling with weight loss all my life and I try a lot of different diet programs and weight loss programs, and the outcome is always very disappointing until I met Sally. When I met Sally, when I hired her as a personal trainer, not only she has helped me to understand why I struggle with weight loss and some of the deeper issues that I have, but she also came up with a very realistic plan that I could follow, and she held me accountable. And since training with Sally for 6 months, I've lost 21 pounds. You see the difference? That's a result-driven, kind of a story-based testimonial. It's way more powerful than, oh, Sally is nice, she's a good personal trainer. You want to collect those testimonials. And the way you do that is by asking deeper questions, giving your customers some examples sometimes what a good testimonial should sound like, and you want to get those personal stories, right? Because people resonate with stories. Your buyers resonate with stories, your prospects resonate with stories. So share those stories and be very careful sometimes when you see these testimonials on the internet. Have you seen those testimonials that it is like only the first letter, like JT or John T? That doesn't give you any credibility. The more specific the testimonial, who that person is, John Smith, occupation, city, even sometimes maybe even like the Instagram, the more details you have, the more credible the testimonials. Does that make sense? When it comes to testimonials, I believe video testimonials, they are the best. They're more difficult to get, but they are the best. Why? Because your prospects could see your customers. You could see what they look like, what they sound like, how they talk, and also their facial expressions. They could communicate emotions so much better through a video. So ideally, you want to get video testimonials. Because also when you get video testimonials, you can transcribe that and turn it into a text testimonial. You could turn the audio, maybe use it for your podcast as also an audio testimonial. But if you only get the written text, you cannot repurpose some of these testimonials. So ideally, get video. If absolutely you cannot get video, I would say see if you can get at least the audio version of it, maybe on the phone, maybe through Zoom or Skype. Get an audio version of it, get a photo, get a nice photo from them. You would have a photo, you have the audio, and you have a text, a little transcript of what they say about your company or your product or service. That's okay too. But ideally, get the video testimonial. Almost every single entrepreneur, every single business owner that I've helped and I have consulted with, almost no one spends enough time collecting testimonials. They might have some, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they could have thousands and thousands of customers, right? I sit down with them and say, okay, what case studies do you have? What testimonials do you have? Oh, we don't have a whole lot. And I'm always shocked. Like within what we do, within my company, I'm constantly ongoing collecting testimonials. We have thousands and thousands of success stories and testimonials, because you want to go into the marketplace, not just what you say, the words, but when you can prove your claim and when you can overwhelm the skeptical prospects with just an unbelievable, undeniable amount of proof, that gives you a lot of credibility. One testimonial, or you can make that up. How about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 1,000. I mean, one person could be a fluke. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Now it's like, okay, this is powerful. There's something about this product. There's something about this service. There's something about this company. I could give it a try. That's how you think, because people don't believe you. They do not trust you. Way number 4, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So words are very powerful. We, as a copywriter, we're using words to persuade and influence other people. But picture is also a very important element, especially nowadays. You look at Instagram, they're all photos. It's a photo-driven platform. So in your email, or in your video, on your landing page, if there are photos, if there are graphic elements that you could use to help you tell a better story, you want to use those. So it's one thing, again, to say, oh, we've had a great event. Let's say you're selling an event, right? You can write all of that and the experience that people have, but it's way more powerful when you can show a picture or multiple photos of people having fun at your event, right? People are having a good time. People are dancing, people are celebrating, and you show those photos. Think about when you hang out with friends, when you show them, hey, you know, I was going on this trip, let me show you this photo, right? You're excited and they're excited to see that photo. A photo is worth 1,000 words. So used properly, done properly, a picture could be a very powerful tool when it comes to enhances the selling power of your sales copy. Way number 5 to write better sales copy, credentialize yourself. It's very interesting. Most people, they're not very comfortable talking about themselves. They're not very comfortable kind of tooting their own horn. Why? Because of low self-esteem. So the way you want to stand out in the marketplace, not from a braggadocious kind of way, but if there are things that we could use, your degrees or your accomplishments, awards that you've won, who you have worked with. If you are selling to a certain group and those credentials are important, use those. If there are letters, after your name, use those if you have those. You want to think about all these things, all the things that you've done, all the credentials you have, they are marketing assets. Just because you know doesn't mean the marketplace knows, right? If you've done certain things, you have spoken to certain groups. Example, I have been an opening speaker twice for TEDx, and you see that I would use TEDx throughout my marketing on my website. Because if I don't tell other people, they won't know, right? If I've written a number of books, use those. If you're a best-selling author, use those. If you belong to a certain association, use those. Credentialize yourself. Way number 6 to write better sales copy. Now, we've talked about testimonials. This is very powerful. I love this one, especially if you are selling B2B. You're selling to business. Include a list of your famous clients. So let's say you are providing some kind of services to companies and you work with some well-known companies. Make sure you include their logos, get permission, but make sure you include their logos on your websites. That your brand is trusted by, partner up with, have so-and-so have done business with you. Example, if you are selling B2B and you've done business with Microsoft, you've done business with Amazon, you've done business with certain big companies, put that right on your homepage. That gives you tremendous credibility because your prospect would see that and they could see, wow, even these big companies have done business with you. They are using your service, they're using this program, they're using your software. Instant credibility. Then everything you say carries more weight. And the more you have, like if you have a whole bunch of them, put a whole bunch of them. Like, whoa, you've got 20, 30, 40, 50 of these companies. If it's good enough for Amazon, it's good enough for me, right? It's good enough for Toyota, it's good enough for me. Very, very powerful. So include a directory, include the logos, include a list of customers, brands on your website. Way number 7, risk reversal. Now remember what I said, people are very skeptical. So is there a way that you could reverse the risk? How could you not put all the risk on the consumers, on your customers, but how could you put that on your shoulder? Can you offer them a compelling, strong guarantee that would make them feel more comfortable taking a chance with you? So it's one thing to say, hey, you know what, buy my product, good luck. You don't like it, that's too bad, right? Versus, hey, you know what, buy my product. Try it, take it home with you. And if you don't like it in 30 days, send it back. I'll give you all your money back. That's a very typical, you see this on infomercial a lot. A 30-day money back guarantee, a 60-day money back guarantee, or even in certain retail, right? Where they have satisfaction guarantee. Oh, you don't like the size? Just bring it back within X amount of days. We'll exchange, we'll give you refund, things like that. It's very, very powerful. See, most people, and you have some people that are like, they are just bad people. They like to refund and they don't like to pay for stuff. But most people are good. Generally speaking, most people are good. And that's not what they want to do. They just want to know that, hey, in case this doesn't work, what is my risk, right? Am I the one that's bearing all the risk? So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a marketer, as a copywriter, think about the guarantee. Sometimes I would spend a lot of time thinking about the guarantee. What are some of the things that you could offer? Now, you don't always have to sell and lead with a guarantee, but if you spend some time, and you could be very, very creative about it. It's not just a typical, oh, I guess I would just do a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's very, very typical. I remember years ago, I was writing copy for my mentor, Alan, and we were working on a marketing piece. And the marketing piece was promoting an event, kind of like a high-ticket, high event, $3,000, $4,000, pretty expensive. And we were thinking, how can we get people to come to this event, right? We need something very, very compelling. So we came up with this guarantee, and here's the guarantee. We say that it's a 3-day event, and most events, they might do something where, first of all, most events don't have any guarantee. Some events, they might say, oh, it's a 3-day event. Come the first day, if you don't like it, right, you can return all your materials to the back of the room, and then we'll refund your money. No harm is done. But we thought we want to make it something more compelling, something more powerful. So here's the guarantee we came up with. We say, come to the event. Not first day, not second day, go through the entire 3 days. Learn as much as you could. Learn all the strategies, right? Get as much as you could out of it. By the end of day 3, if you don't think this event is worth at least 10 times what you pay for it, I want you to talk to us. We're gonna refund all your money, plus we're gonna give you $250 for your trouble because we've wasted your time. Do you see the difference, right? And remember, we did that, and guess what? Not one person took up the offer. Not one person. Think about that. But how many more people we sold as a result of that guarantee? Now people are much more comfortable. Just remember, the more people trust you, the more they feel comfortable with you, the more likely they're gonna buy. And these are just like very basic fundamentals. If you want to know more advanced copywriting techniques that are not shared on social media, I'm talking about techniques and strategies that are used by some of the highest paid and most successful copywriters in the world today. Click the link here and check out my upcoming masterclass. I think you'll love it.